The secret behind writing 3 positive things every night. Part 1.
Have a small habit, very small. They say, if you do it every night, your life will change.
Just 3 lines. 3 positive things.
Write it down before going to bed.
It sounds simple. For many people, it is even nonsense.
But there are things, only when we reach our limits, we realize that they are not as trivial as we think.
I want to tell you a story.
Not a fairy tale. There is no miracle. Just a part of my life that I have gone through, and maybe, you are there too. A few years ago, I was going through a bad time where, every morning when I woke up, I just wanted time to stop. Everything around me seemed fine, but inside, it was empty. I started having trouble sleeping. Then I got to the point where I was afraid of the night. Because night is when there are no more conversations, no more messages, no more things to do.
Just me.
With an empty echo in my head. I tried everything: exercise, healthy eating, cutting down on social media, turning off my phone early. Nothing worked. Until one night, I came across an article. It was short, but one line stuck with me. Try writing down 3 good things that happened today, no matter how small. I read it and ignored it. Like so many other cliched pieces of advice. But for some reason, that night before turning off the lights, I tried it. Nothing significant, so I wrote down. It wasn't raining, so I could walk home. The cashier at the supermarket smiled at me. Mom texted me to remember to dress warmly.
That's it. 3 lines. Nothing special. But I slept. My first sleep in weeks.
I don't know why. It's just, something calmed down inside. As if my brain stopped screaming for faults.
It stopped. Just for a bit.
After that, I continued. Every night I wrote. Some days it was easy, some days it was hard to think of anything positive. But I kept writing. Then after a while, I realized.
The little things I used to ignore.
They were always there. I just forgot how to look at them. And that was the beginning of a quiet change.
No frills, no promises, no motivation. Just a return.
Slowly.
To ourselves.
We often wait for big milestones.
Success, money, fame, the perfect lover.
But sometimes, the thing that saves us is the silly little thing. Like quietly writing down 3 positive things before going to bed. Because what we need is not a miracle, but an anchor. So that we don't get swept away by the empty days. But, why just 3 things? Why write, and not just think?
Next.
I'll tell you something that even scientists have acknowledged. The real reason behind this is not to see life more rosy. It's to help the brain relearn how to survive. And how to open the first door to return.
Part 2. The secret behind writing 3 positive things every night.
When I started writing 3 positive things every night, I didn't think much of it. I just did it. Like throwing a life buoy into the water, just to see if anything would hold me back. But the more I wrote, the more I wondered.
Why writing? WHY, 3 things? WHY, so making so small, makes me sleep better?
Until I found the answer. Not from some empty inspirational article, but from real research, from neuroscience, from behavioral psychology. You know.
The human brain is programmed for survival, not happiness.
It doesn't prioritize positive emotions. It prioritizes things that threaten us. That's why you can receive 10 compliments, but only remember 1 criticism. A small incident in a day is enough to overshadow all the good things that happened before. This is a survival mechanism. And it saved our ancestors from wild animals, from disasters, from prehistoric dangers. But in this day and age, danger is no longer a roaring tiger or a flood. It's stress, vague worries, and the constant noise of information all day long. And in that context, we are surrounded by negative signals, constantly. From social networks, from work emails, from the news, from expectations that are never enough. Writing down 3 positive things is a way to trick your brain. Not to deny the bad things that happened, but to rebalance the warning system that has been pushed beyond its limits. When you write, instead of just thinking, a different process is activated. The memory mechanism switches from temporary to long-term. The positive things are encoded in deeper memory. And 3 things, not too many, but not too few. The brain can process, organize, and retain. It's like a gentle reset at the end of the day, helping the mind no longer obsess over things that drain you. I remember a study by Martin Seligman, one of the great names in positive psychology. He and his colleagues tested hundreds of people, asking them to write down 3 positive things every night for a week. The result: not only did their life satisfaction increase significantly, but the effect lasted for 6 months afterwards.
With just one habit. And simple.
Just 3 lines every night. So, what actually happens inside us when we write down 3 good things? First, attention is redirected. From what did I do wrong today?
To what went right? Who was good to me?
What did I overcome? Second, positive memories begin to take hold. We no longer just remember disappointments, but also retain kindness, warmth, however small. And finally, we begin to believe in the presence of good again. Not with vague comfort, but with the evidence we write ourselves. Every night, like a small stone filling each bleeding hole in our hearts. Someone once asked me,
What if nothing good happens today?
I used to think so.
On bad days, I sat staring at a blank page. For so long my hand hurt.
But then, I learned this. If you don't see anything positive in your day, the fact that you have the energy to write it down is worth writing about.
I survived another day.
That was the first positive.
And sometimes, the most important.
But then a special moment happened a few weeks later. A moment that made me understand. Writing down 3 positive things didn't just make me okay. It also led me to something deeper. A change inside, quietly, steadily, without anyone knowing.
Next, I'll tell you the strangest thing.
What happens when your mind starts to find positives, even when you're not trying. And why, it's not an exercise anymore, it's a way of life.
Part 3. The secret behind writing 3 positive things every night.
One thing I didn't expect. After a few weeks of writing 3 positive things every night, I no longer had to search for them. My mind started searching on its own. In the middle of a traffic jam, in the middle of a tiring day, in the middle of a stressful meeting. It still managed to pull out something, however fragile. It's not that I'm too optimistic.
No.
I'm still me, worrier, overthinker, insomniac. It's just that some part of my head
has changed.
This is what neuroscientists call neuroplasticity. The brain, if it repeats a certain behavior long enough, will form new pathways. It's like walking a path in the woods, and eventually it becomes a real path. And when you force yourself to find 3 positive things every night, you're on the path.
It's awkward at first.
But then your brain starts to learn to recognize beauty, fullness, peace, even in the chaos.
And you know what's strange?
You don't have to sit down to write anymore. All day long, your mind has been silently preparing those 3 things. I remember one day, I was standing in line at a coffee shop. The guy in front of me offered to pay $1 for the guy in front of me, because he was short on change.
No fuss, no fanfare. A very small thing.
And when I saw that, my brain just said, oh, there it is.
Number 2 today.
I didn't try to think about it. I didn't chase after false positivity. I just started to see things differently. And when you see differently, you live differently. Not in a always be happy way, but in a less fearful way.
Less feeling like an outsider. Less feeling like you're always missing the meeting to life fully.
You no longer demand perfection today.
Just 3 small things. Tats genug.
And when tomorrow comes, you're no longer afraid of it. True peace doesn't come from having no problems in your life. It comes from being strong enough to see both the problems and the light at the same time. And writing down 3 positive things every night is one way to keep that. Don't wait until life is okay to start noticing the beauty. Because the truth is, it will never be completely okay. But you can be okay, in the midst of all the bad things. One night, I wrote exactly 3 words.
Not falling today. Just that. No fun. No one laughing at me. No sunshine. No victories. But I'm still here. Sitting in a small room, dim lights, hands on paper. And I write like that.
The miracle is, sometimes when we can't find anything good, daring to look straight at that heaviness is already a positive thing. So, if you're tired, struggling every night, feeling like your life is too dull and confusing, try writing 3 small things. Don't try to find something grand.
Just be honest. Just be there.
And if you can't write anything else, just write.
I'm still here. I'm still trying.
That's enough for a start.
The end.
No habit will change your life overnight. But there are things, if you're patient enough to do them every day, they will save you.
Quietly. And forever. 3 lines every night. 3 positive things. 3 steps to return to yourself. Will you start tonight?